And now, time to hand out, get our report cards ready, some draft grades for the NFC South. And we're going to start here. Bucky Baldy got their grades ready with the Carolina Panthers. Bucky, a team that picked first in the draft out of all the teams here in the South. And they went with Christian McCaffrey, 8 overall. And then came back in the second round, doubled down, got another versatile playmaker in Curtis Samuel.
The Carolina Panthers did an excellent job. I've always wanted to be a teacher, Rhett. So I'm a nice grader. I give them a B+ for their efforts. And it's all about the offense with the Carolina Panthers. Christian McCaffrey, Curtis Samuel, 2 dynamic weapons. And Christian McCaffrey, you're talking about a triple threat. Home run hitter. He can run it inside and outside with power and finesse, catches the ball on the perimeter, and is terrific and explosive in the return game. He's going to put points up on the board. Now, you take him, but you double down with Curtis Samuel, who is almost like a clone when you look at his game on tape. He also can take it to the edges as a runner, is an outstanding playmaker in the slot, has some return ability. I heard Mike Shula say in the post-draft presser that they wanted to make the game easy for Cam Newton, kind of make it like Tom Brady. They now have some versatile playmakers that will allow them to really use the check-down game to move the chains. I like it for the Carolina
Panthers. And I know you also like this value picker here, Corn Elder, down in the 5th round.
Kind of reminds me of Malcolm Butler. He's a nice fit in Steve Wilkes' defense. He's going to hit, run, and cover. Should be outstanding.
All right, Bucky Baldy, let's move over to the New Orleans Saints, who you could make the argument got the very best player at his position with their 2 picks in the first round. Marshawn Lattimore at corner at 11 and Ryan Ramczyk, the tackle, at 32.
And for that, I give the New Orleans Saints and what they're doing down there in Crescent City, I give them an A. I mean, they have been looking for a guy like Marshawn Lattimore for years. It's been a long, long time since they had a guy that can line up against all of these receivers in this tough division right now. You know, from Julio Jones to Deshaun Jackson, this guy can line up, and I think he can get in front of these guys and compete. And then Ryan Ramczyk is a guy like they are trying to rebuild this offensive line from their Super Bowl team on the fly right here. So Ryan Ramczyk, I don't know if he's going to replace Zach Street. Zach will be 34 years old at some point this year during the season, but he's there in waiting. And then look, Alvin Kamara right there. I mean, you just give Sean Payton this type of chess piece and let him go play. They haven't had a player like that since Darren Sproles, so I think he's going to add a lot. And Trey Hendrickson out of FAU, Florida Atlantic, and Boca, they need an edge rusher. He's got all the skills to get there.
Yep, adding to the pass rush there as well. And Bucky, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had the best tight end in the draft fall into their laps there at number 19.
Excellent execution on draft weekend, rather. They get a B for their efforts. This offense, that tweet talked about it in the red zone. I don't know who you're going to cover. O.J. Howard is going to command attention in the middle of the field. Those weapons on the outside, Deshaun Jackson, then you have Mike Evans, even Cameron Brake. He's going to create more one-on-one opportunities. He can hurt you in so many different ways. And then they come back later and get Chris Godwin, who in essence is a replacement for Vincent Jackson, another big-body playmaker on the outside. They have a basketball team. They're big. I mean, they're not necessarily the Golden State Warriors, but they can play big ball down in the red zone. I expect this Tampa Bay offense to score a lot of points with the personnel that they now have.
Yeah, and I mentioned the value pick, Jeremy McNichols, down there in the 5th round, running back out of Boise. Baldy, let's move on to the champs from a year ago in that division, the Atlanta Falcons, who moved up 5 spots to get Takk McKinley, help that edge rush.
They did. And #1 offense in all of football, start to finish last year, but the defense needs work. And for this, I'm going to give them a B+. What Scott Pioli and them and their company have done there. Takk McKinley is a guy. You think about what they have done with Vic Beasley in the last 2 years under Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn knows how to put a defensive front together. Takk McKinley is going to add speed and playmaking ability to run and chase. And I think they went right back to LSU where they found Deion Jones a year ago in the 2nd round, when they found Duke Riley in the 3rd round this year. Another inside guy that's going to add the playmaking ability, some speed, and hitting. And that's what this defense is. They're going to run and they're going to hit you, like they did in the first half against the Patriots. And then they rounded out the rest of the roster. Harlow here, they got a big hole at right guard. Scott Pioli coached his dad, or was there in New England with his dad. Pat Harlow, maybe they can find a right guard.
That Baldy. All right, I like that knowledge there on Harlow. All right, wrapping it all up here. Pretty good draft overall.
Very competitive
in this division,
Great division.
Should be fun to watch these guys get going.